This is the Italian Tier 8 Tech Tree Tank Destroyer, the Semovente Contraccaro 64, a vehicle which features high levels of DPM at 2,900, ridiculously strong frontal armor, and 11 degrees of gun depression. When you pair all these things together and you play this vehicle on a ridgeline, it can be one of the most dangerous tanks out there. And this legendary camo just put the icing on the cake. This is one of the coolest legendary camos I think Wargaming has put into the game in quite a while. I don't know why Wargaming is putting so many more detailed Tier 8 camos in when the Tier 10s still kind of need good camos as well. I mean, go look at the Object 260. That thing's legendary camo is like the lamest thing ever. I would love when they reworked the vehicle and give it PBR. They also gave it a legendary camo that was actually really, really cool. And, I mean, look at the 122 TM legendary camo. That's also absolutely amazing. And that tank already had a really good camo. And then you finish off with the Tiger 2. I really like that camo as well. The AT-15 as an epic camo. There's just so many Tier 8s that Wargaming has been getting absolute bops on. But for some reason, Tier 10, I don't know why, but they just kind of sleep on it. Here we are in game number 1. A rather unfortunate lineup. But we'll see what we are able to do here. I mean, obviously, with the new matchmaker, winning is just going to be a lot more challenging in general, so we'll see what we can do. Alright, well, I'm going to try and support my heavies for the beginning of this game, because they do have an Object 752 and a Shark, which are two of the sweatier Tier 8s and 9s. Alright, well, we got a Moishin and a Yo. I mean, the Yo's a pretty solid tank, so at least we got that. And the Moishin, I don't know how that guy's Moishin only is 2,400 HP, because I think you can get yours up to 2,880 or something like that, so a little interesting. Object 752 is going wide, and, I don't know, I guess I can wait a teeny bit. Nobody on my team's going wide, so because of that, well, there's the ISU. I'm hoping that I can squeeze behind the 752, possibly get a big chunk of damage out. Oh, we're spotted. That means they have to have more tanks. Oh, crazy. Absolutely crazy. Well, we missed the shell on the Borsig. And our T-49's over here. That is not good. I don't know why he is, but he is over here. Alright, let's see. The ISU shot. And, okay, good. We get the clear on the ISU. That's pretty huge. T-49 is, actually penning the shot. I'll give him credit. There you go. Nice shot into the Borsig. This is where, obviously, the Semovente does a fantastic job. Because it has so much frontal protection, there's really not much you can do as an enemy to counter it. That was just a little annoying, I'm not going to lie. Alright, let's put on our adrenaline now, because obviously the 752 has backed himself into a corner here, and we're going to get one pen into his vehicle for 457. Keeping an eye on the Borsig, obviously. And let's maneuver on up. Okay, there's the Borsig. Nice shell into his vehicle. Please don't pen me. He does. Unfortunate as well. Was a pretty big chunky damage. But doesn't matter as we finish him off. Okay, well, pretty good stuff so far. The Shark is probably going to turn for the T-49, although it looks like the 49 doesn't pen him anyway, so it doesn't make too much of a difference. We're going to even on the Shark. There you go. 513 tracking shell. You can see where this tank is kind of insane. I mean, its mobility is surprisingly good, and when you pair that with the fact that this tank just absolutely chunks people, it's kind of incredible. Alright, let's just maneuver over here. Let's see if we can get a shell into the Shark. There you go. 316 damage, and all that's left at this point is the Standard B and the Ag Tiger. Alright, well, we're going to shoot on the move, because, oh, man, that did not go anywhere where I wanted it to. Alright, well, T-49 misses the shot. Yag Tiger's going to turn towards the T-49, which means we get an easy 400 damage side shot into his tank, and there you go. Pretty good victory. So we did 3,300 damage, and this was a great example of where the SMV is able to just kind of farm. I mean, the DPM on the tank is fantastic, and it's very hard to counter this vehicle when using it hull down. So it's just an absolutely incredible tank. Alrighty, here we are, second game. Let's see what we can do. This is a pretty good matchup, unlike the last one we are up against Tier 7s, but that hopefully will not give me a false sense of security. We are going to see what we can do here. Up against us, we got a Caliban, pretty nasty, especially because this thing's lower plate. While the armor on this tank is incredible, its lower plate is actually really weak, and the Caliban can hesh right through it. They also have a M4 Yo, pretty strong vehicle. Okay, So they got two decent tier 8s. The ISU is definitely the biggest threat. I mean, as a tank destroyer, I only have 1,300 health. One high roll from an ISU can literally take off half of my tank in one shot. So I don't want that. You don't want that. Nobody wants that. I'm probably spotted. No, actually I'm not, weirdly enough. Let's see, we got the RU. Got the LTG off to the side. There you go. Nice 460 damage shell into the LTG. And are we going to be able to get another? Doesn't look like it as of now. There's the AMX AC. We got the Panther 2. Okay. Alright, well, I'm going to... Oh, wait, we might be able to get a... There you go. Nice shot into the enemy Yo. But we're going to put on our adrenaline. We're going to get hauled down here. As I said before, this vehicle has 11 degrees of gun depression, which is kind of insane, but we also got the Caliban and the Yo in front of us as well, which are two big threats. So let's get a shell into the Caliban for 400 damage. But I don't want to be shot, which is exactly what is probably going to happen here right now. So we're just going to chill, get another shell into the enemy Caliban. Problem is, I want to deal with the RU. It'd be great if my team helped me here. Okay, but the RU obviously has put himself in a bad spot. We're just going to back on up and bonk. Goodbye. Alright, that was obviously super duper important. And now with the RU dead, we can turn towards the Caliban, and we're going to get nice bonk once into his vehicle. We do have the Yo as well, which is going to be a big threat, but we just got to make sure right now that the Caliban does not know how to take us out, get a nice HE into his tank, and finish him off. That was actually a lot more challenging than it had to be, but still got our damage out. Get a nice 513 shot into the M4 Yo, and there you go. This is the SMV, 3,700 damage, and an incredibly easy win. This tank is fantastic. I mean, there's really not much else I need to say. The capabilities the SMV has are unmatched compared to a lot of other tier 8s. It has the armor, it has the DPM, and it has enough mobility with the gun depression to literally work any spot. And because of that, we basically carried that game. We were able to, I mean, literally kill a full health Caliban in just a few 4 shots. Then we were able to deal with the RU on our side. It was a little unfortunate that nobody on the team wanted to help me with that RU, so we kind of had to wait for the Caliban to shoot and then clear him. But hey, a win's a win, and it was a good result at that, so I can't really get all too mad. This is definitely a keeper, and if you plan to grind down the minnow line at any point, which I would definitely recommend to do so, the minnow is actually the #1 win rate vehicle in tier 10. The mouse is the highest winning heavy, but the minnow overall has the highest win rate. And it makes a lot of sense because as a lesser skilled player, you have 3 shells, and even if you do dump the reserve shell, you still do a lot of damage, which stops people from pushing you. And it's got ridiculously strong armor, which means other people are going to struggle to pen you. It's got enough mobility and gun depression to get the job done. Basically, all the reasons why the tier 8 is so good is why the minnow does so well as it is. I mean, sure, the minnow doesn't have as much DPM, but it hits harder, and it's got 3 shells, which, yeah, you don't want to lose 1,500 health. So at the end of the day, I think the whole line's fantastic. The tier 9 is definitely tricky to drive. That'll be the hardest of the bunch. But the tier 8 is fantastic. I would highly recommend to keep this in your garage. It's even one of those tanks that when Wargaming puts permanent enrichment on sale, you might want to consider because it's so good. The only problem is it's a tech tree, and it would not surprise me if Wargaming did end up nerfing this tank a bit in the future, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.